Okay, the in-season tournament continues with the association today, and we have got 8 teams going at it here in the in-season tournament today. Yesterday's picks were something. We went 2-2. The Spurs we got, and then we got the Charlotte Hornets to beat the Detroit Pistons, and then the Timberwolves decided to lose to the Raptors, and then Anthony Davis decided, and LeBron in all fairness, decided free throws. What are those? And then Franz Wagner, who we have been hyping up for a very long time here on the channel, I'm not going to lie, hits a game-winning 3. I lost a lot of money. I'm not going to lie. I lost a decent amount on the Lakers. But, I said it, hey, if you can go back and watch the first ever video I made this year about the NBA predictions daily on the channel, I said it's going to be a damn roller coaster with the Los Angeles Lakers this season. And by golly, it has started. Let's get on now to our 8 predictions here for the NBA today on Friday, November 22nd. And if you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below again for more daily NBA predictions. And earlier today, about 2 hours ago, we posted our college basketball 5 best bets for today, as well as our NFL predictions were posted yesterday with our college football predictions posted the day before. And tonight is UFC China. It's at midnight if you're on the West Coast, and it is at 3 a.m. if you are on the East Coast. So yes, UFC Macau, China. Deiveson Figueiredo and Petr Yan in the main event in the UFC's bantamweight division. Okay, we got all that out the way. Let's get on to our first game here in the NBA for the in-season tournament. You've got the Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Why do the Sixers keep getting this much respect? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know why. There is so much turmoil around this Philadelphia 76ers team, and they are still favored to beat the Nets. I get it, the game's in Philly. But this is a team that's 2-12. Guys, they shouldn't be favored to beat anybody right now. I'm sorry, they shouldn't. They haven't won a game since November 10th. It was that win over the Hornets where they won in overtime. Jared McCain put up 27 points. I feel like I have the same talking points every single time when I talk about the 76ers, but it remains. Jared McCain's the best player on this team. Embiid is finding his footing, which is great. Again, Embiid's kind of finding his ways. He had a bunch of viral clips from that Grizzlies game where he flops after shooting a free throw, and he flopped like 3 times. It was horrible in Memphis, but they still lost the basketball game, which, I may have predicted correctly. I thought that was an easy spot for Memphis. I'm just saying. Jared McCain, again, is my favorite player in the Philadelphia 76ers, and this dude's, again, he's going to win the Rookie of the Year. Embiid had his night, 35 points. Jared McCain dropped 20. Tyrese Maxey, who just came back, scored 8, and that's the problem with Philadelphia. They have so many guys who are just coming back. Embiid just came back, and yes, he's finally now feels like he's on. Maxey, though, 3 for 13, shooting 8 points, and Paul George is out for 2 games now because of the knee. I think it's the knee injury again, right? Yes, the hyperextended knee. That's not good. Not good. They lost the game by 6 points to Memphis. I don't know why they're favored to beat the Nets. I really don't. Again, Jared McCain's a hooper, but the team can't get it figured out. And Paul George is out here on YouTube clickbaiting the fact that they had a players-only meeting. I don't trust the Sixers to win basketball games right now. Sure, do we really trust the Nets? We trust them to cover. So if you want the safe pick, plus 6.5 Brooklyn. I absolutely love plus 6.5 for the Nets in this game. I don't think there's a chance they lose this game by more than 6 points. Or more than 7 points. I don't see it happening. They shoot too well to lose this game by more than that. They really do. They should have everyone going. I don't think Nick Claxton's going. Maybe not. No Claxton tomorrow or tonight. He's questionable, so we'll see. Maybe Claxton does play. But other than that, you're going to get Cam Thomas. You're going to have Cameron Johnson. You're going to have Dennis Schroeder. The thing with the Nets is, as long as Cam Thomas is playing, the Brooklyn Nets have a chance to win. And I find it ridiculous. There's a chance that Cam Thomas might get traded. He is your entire team in Brooklyn. You can build the franchise around this guy. I'm serious. He's that good. He hits big-time shots in big-time games, and he's only 23 years old. Build the franchise around Cam Thomas. I'm serious. I want to see it happen. Make it happen. He's one of the best scorers in the NBA. Give me Brooklyn to win the basketball game. You can keep your points, even though I'd take it personally more than the money line. But you know what? For the sake of confidence, keep your points. Give me Brooklyn to win the basketball game. We are not laying minus 260 on a 2-12 basketball team. No way, no how. And Paul George's quote, by the way, we can't let Jared McCain be our most consistent player. What's that supposed to mean? He is your best player. Anyways, give me Brooklyn to win the basketball game, and they will cover, obviously, the 6.5 points as well. Let's go on to the game with the biggest spread of the night. The Boston Celtics go to Washington to take on the Wizards. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that the Boston Celtics don't win this game. Obviously, they should. The Wizards are 2-11. For the longest time, we said, oh, the Wizards don't play competitive basketball. They really still don't, unfortunately, for Washington. They have 2 wins all year. They're both to the Hawks. They haven't won a game since October. They are yet to win a game in November. Is there a chance they don't win in the entire month of November? Will they get Boston? The Pacers, I'll get to my Pacers rant in a minute. No, they're not going to go to Indiana and win. They might beat the Bulls. They're not beating Milwaukee for as bad as they are. Clippers, no. Yeah, they might not win a game in the month of November. It's sad. It is. Boston's obviously beating them, obviously. Boston was at the White House yesterday. The sitting president of the United States. I don't know if he was joking or, he just said that they were the Chicago Bulls. I think he was joking. I actually think he was. I'm going to be honest. I never know with him, but I think Biden was joking. I don't know. Regardless, that's why they were at the White House. So they play the Wizards tonight. Boston, they kind of, have taken their spot as still not the best team in basketball. I'd probably say it's either the Cavs. That's probably the Cavs right now. I can't give it to the Thunder. I can't give it to them without Chet. I still think the Cavs are the best team in the NBA. I think, again, the Cavs are going to get back December 1st in Cleveland. Again, I'll say this every time about the Cavs. They played such a horrible game in Boston, and they only lost by 3 points. If Darius Garland shoots 3 for 21 and you're still in the basketball game, that goes to show how good your basketball team is. It's like the whole thing with, Jared Goff and the Lions. Oh, Goff threw 5 picks, but the Lions still won. But that's the thing with the Cavs, right? Garland, your second leading scorer, goes 3 for 21, and you only lose the game by 3 points, and you're in it at the very end. Yeah, that's how good Cleveland is. And you're on the road, too. Come on now. Tatum's playing great this season. I can't deny that. And obviously, I can't deny the Boston Celtics of their victory here. They're obviously going to get it, and if you're not picking Boston here, what are you doing? Now, the thing is, the spread, sure. Last time they were big favorites, it was that Toronto game at home where obviously Tatum hit the game winner in overtime. They obviously won the game by 3 points. The thing is, the Wizards are just so much worse than the Raptors. I watched the Raptors play the Timberwolves last night, and you know what? Maybe Toronto basketball's back. I saw a tweet saying this is the loudest, the loudest that arena's been since they won the chip in 2019. Maybe, man. Grady, Dick, and RJ Barrett are really getting that crowd going. Dick and Barrett, man. I don't know. Give me Boston, though, to beat Washington. The Wizards, again, are not the Raptors. They're even worse. Boston will win, and they will cover the 15.5 points as well. As we go on to our next game, here it is again. The reason why we fade the New Orleans Pelicans is because of their last game against the Golden State Warriors. That's when I decided, you know what? I'm never picking the Pelicans ever again. Now, the ban will end when either 2 of DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, and Zion Williamson come back. That's when the ban officially ends with the New Orleans Pelicans. Until then, though, we are fading New Orleans. I will continue to fade them. No CJ McCollum tonight for New Orleans. Brandon Ingram's questionable. I assume he has to play because literally he's all they got. But Golden State is going to run straight through this basketball team and not look back. This Warriors team's playing well this season. They keep every season, man, they just reload on shooters. They find Lindy Waters III. And, Lindy Waters, averaging 6 points a game. Now, you may know Lindy Waters because of his days at Oklahoma State. You may know him on TikTok. If I can real quick, I will find the TikTok that everyone, if you've seen it before, Lindy Waters, you don't think of, oh, Lindy Waters, the guy who played at OK State. No, you think of Lindy Waters from this one TikTok that went viral. I'll actually play it real quick. Okay, let's listen.
If she gave you a guilt-free pass to sleep with anybody, would you take it?
No, sir.
If you gave me a guilt-free pass, I would take it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Who would you take it with?
Lindy Waters III.
Oh, it said Lindy Waters edit. That's funny. Regardless, I hate to be that guy. I mean, dog, of all the dudes, she says Lindy Waters III. Just be careful, Just be careful. I'm not, I don't know what to say, man. That's just, oh boy. That's, if a woman actually answers that question and gives you an actual answer. Anyways, you didn't come here for women advice. And I don't know if I'm the best to give that, regardless. The Warriors are a good team, and I got on that little tangent because of Lindy Waters. But again, Lindy Waters has kind of been slotted into the starting rotation. Again, the Warriors mix around a lot of their guys, but Lindy Waters can start for this team. He's been doing it recently. Podziemski, obviously. Moses Moody, like D'Anthony Melton can start sometimes, Kuminga, Buddy Hield, primarily a bench guy, but the Warriors just have so many interchangeable guys in their lineup, and they're a good team, man. They're going to blow out the Pelicans. The Pelicans absolutely suck. Again, it's just Brandon Ingram, and yeah, Brandon Boston is going to have his nights now, which, again, he's the number 2 on this team right now. Again, they're number 2 scorer. The Warriors are just so much better. Golden State, again, is the 1 seed in the Western Conference for a reason right now. They're better than the Pelicans by far. Golden State wins. It's not even that close. It's an ESPN game, but it's going to be one of those blowout ESPN games. It's going to be Golden State to win. They will cover the 9.5 points as well. Next up, we go on to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And guys, this might be the first time all season long I am picking against the Indiana Pacers. And honestly, this doesn't feel like that bad of a spot for Indiana. It really doesn't. But I'm going to take the Bucks here. And I've been picking against the Bucks for a while, but they have kind of figured it out. They're 6-9. Giannis, it's still just Giannis and Dame, but they're getting slightly more production from everybody else. So they just, again, all they needed was just a little bit more production out of everybody else, and now they can start winning basketball games again. Their last win of the Bulls, Giannis with 41 points, Dame with 20, but all it takes for them, I'm serious, is the 20 points they got out of Brook Lopez and the 18 points they got off the bench from AJ Green. That's really all they need, because hear me out. Let's listen to the other guys in the lineup for Milwaukee. Taurean Prince, Darvin Ham's favorite, plays 25 minutes, 0 points. Andre Jackson Jr., I know he's not on the court to score, but still 14 minutes, 0 points. He took 2 shots. I'm not really going to put much on him. Same with TP in all fairness, but still, 0 points. Come on. In 25 minutes, Bobby Portis, 22 minutes, 8 points. Gary Trent Jr., 3 for 6 from the field, 29 minutes, 11 points. They'll play. DeLon Wright, 3 points, 12 minutes. They still struggle to find production everywhere, elsewhere than Giannis and Dame, but the Brook Lopez increase in scoring is encouraging for Milwaukee, and honestly, that's kind of all you need. I've just been asking for a third guy on this Milwaukee team to step up until Chris Middleton comes back, and if it's Brook Lopez, so be it. Indiana, I really like the Pacers. I'm serious. I like the Pacers a lot. There is not an NBA team. I don't think I've been to more Lakers games than Lakers. Oh, that's my TikTok. More Lakers games than Pacers games. No, yeah. I have an app where the tracks all the games I've been to. Yeah, I've been to more Pacers games than any other NBA team I've ever watched in person. I've been to the Gainbridge Fieldhouse more than any other arena in the country, which is actually crazy. That's actually insane. But I just can't pick the Pacers right now. I can't do it. I really like Indiana. Just the inconsistency out this team, and I'm going to be honest, guys, trust me, this guy's one of my favorite players in the NBA. He is. But the inconsistency starts with Tyrese Halliburton. Now, I'm not going to overreact like some people are and saying, oh, they should bench Tyrese. No, that's not what needs to happen, obviously. Tyrese is still playing well for just another starter in the NBA. But for a guy who's supposed to be a superstar in this league, an all-star in this league, and a guy who just was on Team USA, this is ridiculous. We need to step up. Guys, Tyrese Halliburton's shooting 28% from three-point land this year. It's unacceptable. 4 points in the Rockets loss. I hope the Pacers beat the Bucks. But right now, the production they're getting out their superstar is atrocious. And sure, the other guys are scoring, don't get me wrong. Siakam's doing his thing, Mathurin's doing his thing, Miles Turner's doing his thing. And that's the one hope for Indiana is, if Halliburton, if the winter soldier can get it together, the Pacers will be fine. But again, they just need Halliburton to start playing like we know he can. Again, I am concerned. I don't think he should get benched because you're going to go to TJ McConnell? I hope it happens soon. For the sake of this game, though, I am going to take Milwaukee. Right now, the Bucks are hot, the Pacers are not, and the game's in Milwaukee. So give me the Bucks to win. They will cover the 5.5 points as well. Milwaukee gets another victory here in the in-season tournament. This is a rematch, by the way, of the semifinals last year in the IST at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Next up, we go on to the United Center. We've got the Chicago Bulls hosting the Atlanta Hawks. Give me Atlanta to go on the road and win this game. Again, the Hawks, one of my teams. I like I do like Tyrese Halliburton. I like Trae Young a lot, obviously. Trae Young, again, the most underrated superstar in the NBA, averaging 22 and 11 and a half. I mean, it's ridiculous the way this guy is moving the rock. And again, Trae's got insane help. Not insane help, but he's got more help than he's ever had, I would say. At least these guys are performing this season. Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Hunter, Dyson Daniels. These guys are playing well. And that's all the Hawks need. This is, again, like Indiana, not to the same extent, but still a high-scoring team, an up-tempo team that's going to give other teams some problems. Again, their game over Sacramento, very impressive. Trae Young, 19 assists in that game. Now they take on the Chicago Bulls, a team where, they've just been okay this season. It's not a rebuild, it kind of is a rebuild year. It's a bridge year for Chicago this year. I don't think they're going to the playoffs, obviously, nor do I think they're making the play-in like they did last season. Zach LaVine is likely going to get dealt at some point this year. LaVine is too good to be hanging around this Bulls team that's not going to contend this season. Lakers, no, actually, the Lakers don't right now, I don't think need Zach LaVine, but LaVine will end up somewhere at the deadline, if not sooner, and for good reason. Zach LaVine has been playing great basketball for the Chicago Bulls. He's averaging, 22, 5, and 5? I mean, those are good numbers out of a really solid player in Zach LaVine, but beyond LaVine, yes, Vucevic's playing well, Kobe White's playing well, Josh Giddey's actually doing well as well, but they just don't play defense. That's the problem with the Chicago squad. They don't play defense, and teams are able to effectively score on them. Oh, where do the Hawks do better than a lot of teams in the league? They score, and they score in bunches, and they score quickly. That's going to make it really difficult in the Chicago Bulls to win this basketball game, and that's why ultimately we are taking the Atlanta Hawks to win this game on the road in the United Center. Give me Atlanta to win. I'll obviously take them on the -1.5. Give me the Hawks, get the job done. I think they will pull away from Chicago in this game on the road. Next up, we go to Houston. You've got the Houston Rockets taking on the Portland Trailblazers. I'm not going to start calling the Trailblazers our, Brooklyn Nets of the Western Conference because I don't think they've deserved that yet. But the weird thing is they have literally covered every single line since I watched them play at the Rose Garden in person. I say this every time the Trailblazers play, but I'm going to continue to say this until they don't cover a game because I made the biggest bet I've ever made on the Portland Trailblazers when I went and watched them in person a couple weekends ago, November 10th, against the Memphis Grizzlies, a Memphis Grizzlies team, by the way, which was without Ja Morant. Regardless, the Trailblazers lost the game by 50 points. And then I was like, all right, this team sucks. So we're going to pick the Timberwolves to blow them out. No, they beat the Timberwolves. We're like, all right, second game, I'll take Minnesota again. No, Minnesota loses. So then we're like, all right, Portland versus Atlanta. I like Trae Young. We just talked about, literally just a couple minutes ago, how much I like Trae Young. I like that Atlanta team, the help that the Hawks have been, given Trae Young as well this season. And you know what happens? The Trailblazers win the game. It's just, and then the last game, we actually, for the first time in a while, I took Portland. I did. I said, you know what? I love OKC, but that line's too much for OKC. Give me Portland to cover. And that's exactly what happened, okay? OKC won like they should, but Portland was able to cover the 14.5 they got. They lost the game by 10. Same thing applies in this game. I like Houston to win. I think Houston gets it pretty easily. Again, I still don't think Houston's going to keep this up. I think this team's very fraudulent. I think they're just playing well at the gates. I don't think they go anywhere in the postseason, I'll be honest with you guys. They're 11-5. Houston's not, you can write this down right now. The Houston Rockets are going nowhere in the playoffs. Absolutely nowhere. Right now they're playing well. They're going to end up as like a 5 or 6 seed, and they're going to lose in 5 games once they get to the playoffs, if they get there, which they probably will because of their start. But maybe it's a team that, they're like the Pelicans last year. They fall all the way down to the play-in, and then, oh crap, you lose your first game, and now you're in a do-or-die game to just get the 8 seed. Give me Portland. Give me Portland to cover. Give me Houston to win. That's not too hot of a take. Portland, again, they've been playing good enough basketball to cover, and 11.5 just feels like too many points. I get it. Injuries to Anthony Simons and DeAndre Ayton. Will they play? Will they not? I don't know. Regardless, Portland finds ways to stick in games, and really that's got to be credited to Jeremy Grant. He does a great job keeping them in games. I think Houston wins, but give me the Trailblazers to cover on the road in Houston, Texas. Next up, we go to the other ESPN game, probably the game of the night. You've got the Denver Nuggets hosting the Dallas Mavericks. It's a big game, obviously. Luka versus Jokic. Obviously, they're not going to guard each other, but still the two superstars in both squads. The Mavs, again, both these teams, but especially the Mavs, feel like they're figuring it out. 3 straight victories after starting the season 5-7. A win over the Spurs, a win in OKC, and then a win over the Pelicans, but everyone can do that. I mean, truly, I think they can right now. Denver, on the other hand, won their last game against the Grizzlies in the second half of the back-to-back, but then, of course, lost those 2 games to the Pelicans and to the Memphis Grizzlies in the first of the back-to-back against Memphis. Jokic has not played. Is Jokic playing? He's questionable with the personal issue. Do we know what Jokic's personal issue is? I mean, obviously it's personal, but, like, is he good? Like, do we know what this is? Jokic, what's going on? Fans worry for Nikola Jokic and family. Is he good? That sucks. He's questionable. Guys, I'll be honest with you. If he's questionable, he's probably not playing. All right, disregard the graphic. We're going with the Dallas Mavericks. I'm serious. Disregard that. I was under the assumption Jokic was going to play. That's my fault for not preparing that ahead of time, but we'll make the switch right now. No, we're going with the Dallas Mavericks. We're going to take the dogs in this game, plus 120 and plus 2.5. If this is my thing with this, right? And this is what I've been saying about Jokic, for a while now with this personal issue for the last 3 games. If Jokic is questionable because the personal issue, he's probably not playing. Because, again, since the personal issue is not an injury, if he would be able to play the night before, likely. So he'd probably be probable or a game time or more better than just questionable. Yeah, I think if Jokic is playing, they would have already declared him as playing, or he'd be probable for this game. Questionable just doesn't sound good. I hope, again, personally, or this isn't a personal thing, I just hope everything's good with Jokic, because, yeah, this is going to be 4 straight games if he doesn't play, and there's really no real update other than it's just a personal matter, which obviously, again, it's a personal matter, but, yeah, no Jokic, no victory. Give me the Mavericks. Truly. Again, the Nuggets at home without Jokic, I know they just won their last game, and Russell Westbrook played well a couple nights ago. I get it, but I'm not going to consistently rely on on this team without Jokic to win games. Sure, again, they were able to beat Memphis in their last one. Great, good for them. Obviously, again, Russell Westbrook turned back the clock with 32 minutes, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists, give him the 200th, triple-double of his career. Good for him. I don't think that's a consistent thing, though, obviously. Jamal Murray played well. Michael Porter played well. But, again, can we rely on that every night for the Nuggets? When Jokic is playing, obviously, we don't have to rely on that. But right now, without Jokic, yeah, that is somewhat of a thing you have to rely on. I don't think they get it done against, Luka and Kyrie with the Mavs. Give me Dallas to go on the road and win this game. If Jokic plays, though, yeah, give me Denver. Right now, though, I don't think Jokic is playing. So I don't feel bad hopping on the line right now. Again, disregard the screen. Plus 120 for Dallas, assuming Jokic doesn't play. I don't mind the line at all. Let's go on to our final game in the nightcap. We go to the Intuit Dome. The Los Angeles Clippers host the Sacramento Kings. A really tough game for me to pick personally. I'm going to go with the home team here, though, the Los Angeles Clippers, just because I've been ultra impressed with their last 2 basketball games. Winning their last game at home against the Orlando Magic without Norman Powell is incredibly impressive, considering, again, the way that the Orlando Magic just beat the Los Angeles Lakers yesterday. That's a good Orlando team, and sure, maybe it was just an off night for Franz Wagner, but hell, at the same time, Wagner played 35 minutes, and the Clippers limited him to 14 points. And what did Wagner put up against the Lakers? 37-38? So, that's not a bad win. Sure, Orlando, again, just had a horrible shooting night, but that also is to be credited to the defense that the Clippers played in that game as well. And the Clippers, again, always feel like they just hit right shots at right times. And sure, Harden's still a free throw merchant, obviously, 12 free throws in that win over Orlando, but back-to-back victories for the Clippers have been really good. Again, Golden State, who they just have their number this season, they beat the Warriors, beat the Magic, and before that, yeah, they did go out and beat the Utah Jazz as well. Early in the season, the Clippers could not win in the Intuit Dome, but now it feels like they're hot in that arena. They've won 3 in a row at home. This is the end of this little home stretch for them before they go on the road to the East Coast to take on Philly, Boston, and Washington, and Minnesota as well. But I like them to win in this little end of this home stretch here. Sacramento, again, good basketball team. De'Aaron Fox is playing like an elite player this year. Don't get me wrong. They struggle to find him help off the bench, though. I'm serious. They do. Their starting lineup is great. And, shout out to Keon Ellis, who dropped 33 points the other night. But the anchor of that defensive unit is still Malik Monk, I would say. Sure, Keon Ellis can pick it up as well, but they don't have consistency off the bench, and that's where I think the Kings lose this basketball game because the Clippers are actually the deeper team. The Clippers have a lot of guys who can score off the bench. Amir Coffey, Terrence Mann, again, Norman Powell, we'll see if he plays. Is he? Oh, he's already out. Still, I will take the Clippers. Again, they found a way to beat Orlando without Norman Powell. It's just these random vets give them production, which is really odd. Hell, even James Harden, again, he's not a random vet, but Harden finds ways to give them obviously great production. Chris Dunn didn't do much, but his presence and the defense that he played, great. He started as well. Amir Coffey dropped 18 points. Zubac dropped 17. Derek Jones, athletic big, or athletic forward who can play defense and score and make plays as well. Batum gave them good minutes off the bench. KPJ gave them great minutes, obviously. Jordan Miller, Terrence Mann, Mo Bamba. I don't know. The Clippers have really sneaky depth, and that's what the Kings lack right now with their injuries. So I'm going to take the Clippers to win this game at home in the Intuit Dome. We're getting, plus 125 on it and plus 3.5. You can take either or, but I do like the Clippers in this one over the Sacramento Kings. And folks, that'll do it for our NBA predictions here on November 22nd. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.